Through the shadows where the storms collide, she stands with courage as her guide. Her whispers echo louder than screams, faithful to God through broken dreams. She's the silent storm, unshaken, strong. Through the trials, she's where hope belongs, a survivor standing tall, unbound. Her voice a beacon breaking the cloud. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret. At 5:30 sharp, hearts come alive. Together we heal, together we thrive. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret. At 5:30 sharp, hearts come alive. Together we heal, together we thrive.
Hey. What's up, everybody? Happy, thankful, terrific, tremendous Thursday. Hope everyone is doing good on today. I'm live. It's a hold on real quick. Sorry. Well, welcome you guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. I've been gone this past Tuesday, and this Thursday. I had a doctor's appointment because, as you know, me, I'm been through breast cancer, so I'm still going to see doctors and stuff. So it's been doctor's appointments all week, so that's why I'm really late, y'all. I try to be on time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Anyway, we are going to still talk about the grand jury. This is still about justice for 𝘠𝘭𝘬 Meeks Blackman. Okay, I know they had protests today in Chicago, and I don't know how it went, but I'm sure that it went well. I'm sure it went well. I had no time at all to search on Facebook, to search on YouTube to see anybody have any videos about the protests for justice for 𝘠𝘭𝘬 Meeks Blackman on today, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. So when I find it, I might do a short on it or something like that. But today we're gonna talk about the grand jury. A lot of people want to know why is it taking so long for us to get be charged. Excuse me. And as I was saying, but before I get started, y'all know what I do. You got enough time to go make you a plate. You got enough time to go get you a glass of ice water or some popcorn, whatever you want to do. I will not be on here long. I'm going to do an hour. I can't do no longer than an hour, y'all, because I try to do those 2 hours. That took a lot out of me. I can't do that long, okay? So we're going to cut it short. Wherever we at, we're going to cut it short and probably add it on to the next one, because these next few weeks, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be talking about, 𝘠𝘭𝘬. Some other things I want to talk about. I want to talk about also Derrick Grove. I put that on my short yesterday that he got, he is captured now. He's back in Louisiana. He got captured on yesterday, so we might talk about a little bit about that if I have time. Okay, so so shout out to that. So excuse me. Mm. So we're gonna talk about, like I said, the grand jury on today. But before I do that, I want to welcome everyone to Forever Lisa's Royal Jewels Palace Room, known as Safe Haven, where it's real talk with real people in real life. You will see God's love, peace, joy, happiness, unity, and respect. Okay. Excuse me. Just know this live stream is a discussion I'm just talking about today. It's an opinion or a thought, okay, that I'm going to be saying. I'm also going to be reading, stuff with our research on, and I'm bringing it back to you about the grand jury, okay? But if I say anything during this live stream, if the shoe fit, just wear it, okay? That is for real. That is real talk, okay? Just remember that I'm not a preacher, a counselor, a therapist, or a doctor. I'm just a willing vessel being used by God for his purpose, not to man. If you don't know me by now, you would never, never, never get to know me, because I am not no man pleaser. I only please God. I am only about the truth. I'm not here to bandwagon. I'm not here to follow the crowd. I'm only here to give my thought on what I see, what happened to this beautiful young girl that should not have been alive. And so far, I am still Team Ramika, justice for Ramika, because I don't see no self-defense. I don't believe it was no self-defense. That's just me from the things that I see. I see with my own eye, not for what nobody else said. Things I'm watching for myself. Okay? If you come into my live chat, if you are a moderator, I'm sorry. If you are a moderator and you as a content creator, you may drop your link down anytime. Okay. And just always remember, all are welcome here. Good vibes only. Speak your mind and move on. Okay. We're not here for no disrespect. Over here on this channel all about respecting each other, showing love to each other, and speaking the truth. That's what this channel is about. You find somebody that that you may come into my live chat, somebody who you do not like, block them, because I don't pick sides. And that was some people that used to rock with me. They want me to pick sides. I'm not going to pick no sides. You rock with that person, and you support that person. That's you. That's not me. That's your beef, not my beef. Okay. So we finna continue on. I'm finna put my copyright disclaimer up here, and then we're going to talk about the grand jury. Okay. That's what we're going to talk about, because in my eyes, she will get prosecuted. You know what I'm saying? She will get indicted. I do believe it. And it's the reason why they take so long with this. And we're going to talk about the reason why they taking so long with this. Okay. Okay, first, I want to read my copyright. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance of favor of fair use. Okay, so that's my my copyright statute I just posted up there. I just read to you, and it's also going across my ticker right here. Okay, so we finna take that back off. And who came? Hey, Beefy, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to you. So we're going to continue on to keep going. Okay, so we'll go get this live started. I'm not going to wait, for people to come in. I just don't do that. You just have to red ball it back and see what I talked about from the beginning, or they can watch the replay. Thank you. If anybody watched the replay, thank you so much for your support, for watching the replay and hear my thoughts about justice for Ramika Meeks Blackman. Okay, I'm gonna play a couple of videos of Holly family saying that not to watch a certain individual content creator, which his name is Keys. They say ain't nobody talk about this case no more. Yes, a lot of people are still talking about this case. I'm just a small little channel over here. People don't see me over here in this corner, but it's being talked about. Many of people talking about it. Okay, Open Book is talking about this case. Royal D is talking about this case. Keys News Network is talking about this case. Messi is talking about this case. It's many more out there is talking about this case. Okay, this case will not go void. This case will not go be swept up on the rug because we is going to keep her name alive. Justice for Ramika Meeks Blackman. Okay, so this video discussion we're going to talk about on today. Many people want to know why it takes a long time for the prosecutor to charge Holly Johnson for the unaliving of Ramika Meeks Blackman. And we all know that she pulled out her gun and did the pow. She admitted it herself. So this is not no LH, okay? This is real. This is real talk, okay? She said it herself, okay? In many situations, we're talking about the prosecutors now. Why does it take the prosecutors so long? Why are they dragging to, pull this in the grand jury, okay? So this is some of the information I have found. In many situations, prosecutors may need additional time to secure evidence, interview witnesses, or engage in a plea negotiation. Court backlogs, limited staffing, and unavailable witnesses can also slow the process because the prosecution must prove every element beyond a reasonable doubt. Extra time is often needed for investigation or legal preparation. In cases involving plea bargaining, the timeline may extend as both sides work through specific terms and condition. Okay, so they got to take their time, especially the prosecutor. The prosecutor want to take his time. They want to make sure they get all of their I's dotted and their T's crossed. They don't want to make no mistake. Okay, so it's going to take time. I brought a video up. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the video once I get through with mine reading. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the video. The guy is saying the same thing. You don't want to rush it. It might take up to 6 months, it might take up to a year, or maybe 2 years. Okay, maybe 2 years. Okay, so just take his time. Just know she will be prosecuted, but we got to don't forget we got to keep her name alive, so that way they won't try to push it back farther. Let them know that no, we gonna stay on top of this. So we got to continue keeping her name alive. I really do believe that Holly will get indicted. I just believe it because this was not no self-defense. Okay, this was not no self-defense. I heard somebody, I think I was in Royal D live. I think I was in somebody's live, and somebody said that she had to speak on all 3 shots. Why did she get shot 3 times? So she got to have a answer for all 3 shots. Because for one thing, she should not have shot her not one time, but at least if she was going to shoot, she could have shot her 1 time. But she wanted to shoot her 2 more times after that. So why did you shoot her 2 more times? Okay, and that was a good point of whoever that young lady that spoke that. Okay. So we're going to keep going. Delays in presenting a case, excuse me, to a grand jury can occur for a variety of reasons. Excuse me, I got a cough again. Hold on. What happened to my what I had up? Sorry. don't know what I hit. Well, anyway, delays in presenting a case to a grand jury can occur for a variety of reasons. Most which involve prosecution building a stronger case, like I said earlier, more complete cases. It is often is often a process, particularly in complex cases involving serious charge. And this is a serious charge. So they is taking their time. They making sure, like I said, they want to make sure everything is there. They want to make sure all the witnesses there. The witness not showing, they're gonna indict the witnesses. You know what I'm saying? So they just being careful of everything they do because the prosecutor do not want to lose any cases. Okay, so they're gonna take their time to make sure they got everything that they need to make sure that Holly is gonna go down for this. This was not, they're gonna prove that this was not self-defense. Okay. Investigative and reasons. Gathering evidence, prosecutors will not present a case to a grand jury until they have sufficient evidence to establish. Okay. They're going to make sure, like I said, they got their I's dotted and their T's crossed. Okay. Probable cause. This process can be lengthy, especially in complicated cases involving financial crimes or forensics. Okay. Witness issues. Okay, delays can arise and a key witness is uncooperative, cannot be located, or has a scheduling conflict. A witness may also retract their story or prove unreliable forces that prosecution to find additional evidence. Okay, that can slow a case down. Okay, so like I said, let them do their job. You're not going to rush them. Okay, but they don't want to give you no high hopes if if they don't have enough evidence. Okay, they want to pull as much evidence that they can to present to the grand jury, so this can go to the grand jury, which we already know, which it already did, because it's already at the grand jury. Okay, so but this is the reason why they probably was dragging their feet and stuff. They want to make sure they got the case together. Case reassessment. Sometimes a delay happens because the prosecution realized the evidence is not strong enough to meet the standard or proof required for an indictment. A grand jury can refuse to indict, but in some jurisdiction, a prosecutor can present time case to a new grand jury if new evidence emerges. Okay, which I believe that they couldn't just do it right away, because at that time they didn't have enough evidence. They had to build their case. So that's what they was doing. They was building their case. Okay, so they have a strong evidence to make sure that she can indict, because she can't be tried 2 times. Once Holly go to in front of the grand jury and she got away, with it, and a new evidence, come up, it's too late. So they try and get everything that they can to make sure she is being prosecuted. Okay. Complexity. In major investigations, such as those involving a large scale of conspiracy or multiple defendants, gathering all necessary evidence can take months or even years. Prosecutors must collect testimonies and documentary evidence. Okay, it got to be accurately. Okay, got to be accurate. So they taking their time, you guys. They taking their time. They got this. They got it. We just talking about the grand jury. Why does it take a prosecutor so long to indict somebody? Okay, that's what we talking about on today. Strategic reasons. Plea negotiation. A delay can be used to pressure a defendant to accept a plea deal before a formal indictment is issued. By delaying the process, prosecutors can push for a guilty plea and secure a conviction. Okay? So they probably going, they talking to her, they negotiating her, getting her to say, say this and no, tell them what they was telling her, you know what I'm saying, giving her, oh, you do this amount of years if you plead guilty, you know what I'm saying? So we'll find that all out if she's gonna go ahead and plead guilty. So she won't have to go to court. So we'll find out how long this gonna process is gonna take. Because we already know that she the one unalive. Okay. So that's guilty right there. Okay. Now they got to figure out, was this really a self-defense? So that's what they're talking about right now, because that's what she calling self-defense. But as you know, I've been through it in many other videos. It's not self-defense because, again, I'm going to repeat it again. I've been saying it from day one. If you is able to order for a self-defense to go through, if you are able to walk away from any confrontation, do so. She didn't do it. She walked away. Remember, when I said she walked away, because she had to turn around from the confrontation, they was arguing. She went to her car on the passenger side. Instead of her getting in her car and to pull off, she decided to get in her car and pull out her pow. That's one red flag. Another red flag I see when she was on the internet, messing with Ramika. She was doing that stuff as well. Okay. She wasn't afraid of Ramika, but she's gonna put a protection order against her. But she was still doing her picking. Okay, so that's that right there. And a lot more. I just seen that what she did, and it's sad. Okay, resource allocation. Uh, Prosecution offices often face large caseloads and limited resources. They may prioritize more pressuring or serious cases, um, causing other matters to be delayed. Okay, so they may prioritize more pressing on serious cases. Okay, causing other matters to be delayed. But this is a serious case right here. So this case might move in front of more cases. Okay, because this is a serious case. This case right here is not no joke. It might be another case, probably, because this is murder. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is unalive. Somebody's unalive. So I really do believe they are really working it. This case right here, I believe, is pushed in front of a whole lot of other cases. Okay? But they're not going to rush. They're going to take their time to make sure they got what they need to prosecute Holly. Okay? Adding more charges. Prosecutors may delay presenting the case in the hopes that more victims or witnesses come forward, which will allow them to bring more. Okay, they probably going out to see, they probably got those cameras and probably seeing who was all out there during that confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of the cameras probably didn't show too much, and maybe it did. We don't know until the court system comes. I'm quite sure they was downtown. It's cameras all over. I'm sure. I'm not from Chicago. I don't know, but by that being a city, I'm sure they got a lot of cameras downtown in that area, especially as a school right there. That's a school zone. So you're in a school zone. I'm sure it's cameras in that school zone. Okay. School zone's what, about 1,000 feet? So I'm sure it was in that area somewhere. Okay. So you're looking for more witnesses. Don't be scared to speak out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the first witness I heard that spoke out was on Messy's panel. And I believe her. I don't think she's lying. I don't believe she's lying because she came right out. It was like the next day she was out talking about it. You know, I'm just speaking on it. Then if you hear thanks to Travel, I'll be on her page as well. If you go listen to that video, you can hear the Mexican guy, saying you were trying to kidnap her. You were trying to put her in the car. You know what I'm saying? And then you can hear the girl saying, you had her in the headlock. You can hear all of that. It's so much you can hear in that video, but you got to really listen to. It's like 3 or 4 different voices. You got to listen to them real good. Okay. Weak case. A delay can signal that the prosecutor's case is weak, in which we know the prosecutor case is not weak. Okay, this is just some of the things that we just going through that can delay or or drag. Why are prosecutors dragging their stuff into bringing this to the grand jury? Okay, and they are having difficulty establish probable cause. Sometimes this is an ally to the defense, but not always. Though not always, sorry. Okay. Administrative and systematic reasons. Court backlogs. The justice system often experience heavy backlogs, which can cause significant delays in bringing cases before a grand jury. A grand jury schedule. A grand jury has its own schedule and meets periodically, not on demands, depending on when the case is ready. The prosecutor may have to wait for next season. Okay, they may have to wait. It all depends on the grand jury. Okay, scheduling conflicts. Okay, delays can occur due to the prosecutor's own workload or unforeseen conflicts. Okay, so that's are some of the reasons that I just read to you. What the grand jury, why the prosecutor takes so long to indict. What's her name? Holly. I'm sorry, y'all. So I got to think, but I got what I want to say. Okay, but yes, so those are the reasons. So, but again, give the prosecutor and the people time enough. Don't rush it, okay? Because you don't want them to rush. You don't want them to make a mistake. Because once they make a mistake, like I said earlier, that's it. They lost the case. So they want to make sure they got everything what they want and what they need. Okay, for them the prosecutor and even the defendant, her lawyer is doing the same thing. They making sure they got everything to protect her. They thinking what the prosecutor probably gonna bring at them. So he's working on that. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? He working, fighting for Holly, and the prosecutor is fighting, to get Ramika justice. Okay, so they both is out there doing it. They both out there doing it. Nobody want to come forth first. You know what I'm saying? Not now, but it's coming. Like the research said, it could take up to 6 months. It might take up to a year. It could be even 2 years. Okay. So, well, we got to keep her name alive. We got to keep talking about it. I got to keep talking about it. Like I said, shout out to all the content creators. It's big content creators out there is talking about this. Okay. Continue on to talk about it. The one, I know you guys already heard it, but I'm going to play it again. Shout out to Keys News Network. Okay. This is just a little, I'm going to play up his. Shout out to you, Keys Network. We all in this together, so we're gonna stick together. Okay, we both out here for the same thing. It's justice for Ramika, but I don't like how she said. So I'm gonna read what she said at first. Lord, I hope I can read it because I don't got my glasses and don't know where my glass. I ain't gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna read what a family member said. I don't know who the family member that said this, that put this out there, but I read it to you guys before, but I'm gonna read it to you guys again before I play his. Okay, I'll tell you what she said. Okay, and that's why we still talking about it, and we're gonna continue on to talk about it. Okay, let me remove this. I'll bring that back up because we got to do a screen share. La la la. Okay, remember we read this to like a few on one of my real table talks. When somebody named Ryan had spoke up for the family, and whoever this family member is said that Ryan is not part of our Holly's family, but they appreciate his support during this time. Okay. Well, anyway, the family member said of Holly's, our focus remains on cooperating fully with the Chicago Police Department, the state's attorney, and other authorities, not on addressing false online narratives. Holly has been fully cooperative since day one. As most know, the matter will be presented to a grand jury and we will proceed accordingly. So it is going to the grand jury. Okay. So I just want to read that part right there. And that's all I want to read because it is to the grand jury. Okay. We'll be presented to the grand jury. Okay. And then we finna go back and, I got the one thing I hate about you got to stop sharing and keep going back and forth. So we're gonna stop sharing this. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and read this one right here to you guys. Take what So this one right here, like I said, this is Keys Network right here, and this is what they gonna try to tell people not to listen to. Keys is good. He out there working his butt off, and he bringing back stuff and talking about it. He's funny too, y'all. He's very, very funny with his. So he keep his lively, and but he keep you laughing on some of the things that he say. But this is what's one of the family members of Holly's side do not want the viewers to watch Keys. Okay. So we're gonna listen to what Keys got to say. Okay, he's gonna read it out to you guys. Okay, so let's play Keys. It's on about 8 minutes long. Let's listen to it to you guys. Shout out to Keys Network.
Keys guy. His views and likes are dying down, and he's just looking for anything to post. This story has already died down. No blogs, no celebrities. Nobody's talking about it anymore. The truth came out. Hold on. So Holly Scary is curled up in somebody's basement, hiding out, eating Cheetos, musty, probably. And she waiting on Beyonce to say something about the case. And if Beyonce ain't saying nothing about the case, she feel like she free. Is you crazy? This your boy Big Keys, Keys Against the World. She said ain't no celebrities, no blogs talking about it. It died down. How did it die down? And the person that died something, the person that murdered something is still on the goddamn streets. Is you crazy? Now, if y'all don't know what's going on and what's going wrong, the TT, right, then came out and made a whole letter about me. She said I was cyber stalking her. I was stalking her. You don't even have an ass. I don't. Why would I? I never stalk nobody in life, let alone a woman with no ass. I have the right. That's not defamation. If you got an ass, do a twerkathon for Holly or something. Ava, raise some money up for Holly, for her attorneys. Do a twerkathon. I bet you that shit go bankrupt. However, you make a whole post about me. I've been saw this, but shout out to Mama Me Bree on Facebook. She covered this. I'm just, it's already out there. So now I could talk about it type shit. I could have been talked about it, but I would have been the first one. But now, since Mama Me Bree talked about it, I can talk about it. I'm not stalking you type shit. However, right, she said this, don't entertain that Keys guy. His views and likes are dying down, and he's just looking for anything to post. This story has already died down. No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
Where did it die at? Only one person died. That was Ramika. This story is still alive.
That's right.
Smoofy. No blogs, no celebrities. Nobody's talking about it anymore. the truth came out, and once people put themselves in Holly's shoes, they fell back quick. Yeah, I bet they did fall back quick. Once you put yourself in these bloody ass shoes, you said, "God damn, this bitch a murderer."
See how funny he is?
I wouldn't put myself in these shoes.
I
to
wouldn't
go get the
either.
groceries real fast. You remember when you was little, you used to put whatever shoes was by the door, you put them on and you run downstairs to take out the trash or help with the groceries. I wouldn't even put these shoes on to do that shit. So who put these shoes on and fell back quick? Who? Not these.
Not these.
Ones.
Not
Right?
these.
Now, if the shit died
Not
down,
open book.
how come Holly? You didn't.
Not
ask,
Royal D.
You never answered that. No one in the family never answered that. Right? If the case died down, if it's over with, I'm just saying something for views. How come Holly Scary don't have her property back? Where is her gun? Where is her Green Goblin tracksuit? Do not try to go to the Dollar General and match up some shit together. Talking about, here go the tracksuit right here. It's too late. I already done brought it up. Is you crazy? Let's continue, man. This is crazy work. Once they put themselves in Holly's shoes, they fell back quick. Contacting him only gives him a reason to use Holly's name for attention. We're not feeding into it. We're resilient. We're covered, and we move with peace. What y'all covered? Y'all ain't covered in the blood of Jesus. You ain't say that. I thought y'all was a praying family. You said we're covered. And what? Usually people say we covered in the blood of Jesus in God's name. Hold on. You said we're covered, we're resilient, and we move with peace. You knew not to say no shit like that. You knew you wanted to say we're covered in the blood of Jesus.
Yes,
that's what you usually say.
Mm-hmm.
But Holly over here covered in the blood of Roro. You can't say that. You didn't want to earn your spot in hell for putting Jesus on that. Is you crazy? Is you crazy?
She knows she's guilty.
Now, let's get into this, y'all. DCFS tried to give Holly baby to 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 family, right? Since y'all family so good and almighty, how come Holly didn't want to relocate the baby to y'all? She denied relocation of the baby. They tried to relocate the baby to safety. She said no. The reason was unknown. I don't think she trusts y'all. Right? Cool. Let's go right here to the police report. Screenshot this. Cool. At 14:05 hours, DCFS was called. Elizabeth C. That's the person on the case. If you look at the bottom, that's the case number, right? Check this out, right? Now I got inside sources. Holly was detained around 10 o'clock. Well, she was contained. She's wild. She was a beast type shit. So she was contained around 10 o'clock, right? The police decided whatever she said at 2 o'clock p.m. to call up to the school. We don't know who else they called, but they called up to Litlow School. Now, Litlow's ain't got shit to do with Holly, right? But it's mighty funny that the police didn't try to give Holly's son to Carlos. The daddy was right there, right? The daddy was the witness. He in the paperwork. Go check out the paperwork. Go check out the paperwork, the incident report, right? The daddy's in the incident report, right? Now, my inside source say that when Carlos tried to go up to the school to get his son, after he changed his clothes and wiped all that blood off of him, he tried to go get his son. They said no, right? It was a fight because 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 family was up there too. It was a fight, a lit fight. It really wasn't a fight because Carlos didn't swing back. So he really got fought, you know what I'm saying, type shit. However, in the midst of that, the police asked, even though it was a fight and everything, 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 family put the pause on this nigga, and the police still asked 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 family, would y'all like to take Holly baby? Let me rewind that. The police asked and DCF asked, would they like to take Holly baby, right? And at that time, Mama Tina got a good heart. She was contemplating, should she do it? But when she looked up, somebody was in the corner. Like,
he was telling her, no, don't take the baby.
Fuck the kids?
So Mama Tina was like, fuck the kid. And somebody just looked at her like, you better not take that motherfucking baby. And she didn't take that motherfucking baby out. Type shit. This is this Elizabeth C. Y'all can call DCFS. I got an inside source. I ain't gonna tell you how I know that story. I didn't call DCFS for that. Somebody who was there told me what happened. Type shit. Is you crazy? Why didn't they give the baby to you, TT? What you got going on? What you got going on? Type shit. Now, once again, for the Johnson family, right? The immediate, because let her tell it, the distance don't mean nothing to them. It's all about the immediate family. So to the immediate Johnson baby oil family, y'all don't know who Johnsons I'm talking about, right? For legal purposes. If Holly is cleared and if it died down, where is her Green Goblin jumpsuit? Where is the paperwork from the prosecutor saying that she's cleared? Where is her property? Where is her gun? This your boy Big Keys, Keys Against the World. Whenever y'all post that, I will delete everything. I said that before I say it again. When they post that, I delete everything. This your boy Big Keys, Keys Against the World. I'm up out of here, man.
Okay. All Keys is doing is asking for, all he doing is saying, put the video out, and he's gonna let go of everything. Okay, he's gonna let all of his videos go on both sides. Put the video out. That's all he asked you to do, young man. I think his name is 𝘓𝘭𝘬 or something like that. I don't want to mess somebody's name up, but you know I would mess the name up in a minute. So that one is that we are still talking about Ramika. Everybody keep her name alive. Keep her name going, coming out here, okay? Because she definitely needs justice. She definitely going to get justice, okay? I had removed something up out of here, so I want to make sure it stay gone. Okay, so we finna go ahead and continue on, and I think you guys needed to really, I wanted to play this one right here as well. This is a young lady. She was in a domestic violence, as we know. So was Ramika, okay? And she wants everybody to know that it's real. So it's not long, you guys. So we're going to listen to this for a few minutes, okay? So you guys can hear her story, okay? I had no idea who she is. I just thought that you need to listen to her. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and share this real quick and listen to her. Okay, you guys, this is just her testimony, and I think it goes along good with this, so people know if you're in some type of domestic violence, get out of it. Okay, move on. Okay, so listen to her story, you guys. I don't want to tell you guys about it. Just listen to it for yourself.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence. My ex-boyfriend tried to kill me. Shot me 4 times with an AR-15. I lost my hand because he tried to shoot me in the head. That's the reason why I don't have a hand right now. I had to block it so he wouldn't kill me. Be careful. They say, where they find your story on YouTube. What's the name of the 𝘓𝘢𝘭𝘬 story? I'm a survivor of domestic violence. My ex-boyfriend tried to kill me. Shot me 4 times with an AR-15. I lost my hand because he tried to shoot me in the head. That's the reason why I don't have a hand right now. I had to block it so he wouldn't kill me. Be careful. They say, where can they find your story on YouTube? What's the name of the 𝘓𝘢𝘭𝘬 story? I'm a survivor.
I said that here, you guys. She got shot. She got shot 5 times. She got shot 5 times. 4 times in the stomach, I believe that she said, and she got shot in her hand because he tried to shoot her in the head. Okay, He tried to shoot her in the head and she blocked her hand. And that's how she lost her hand. You know, so hey, domestic violence, he is in jail. They do got him. You know what I'm saying? So protect yourself. If you in something crazy, walk out. Your life is more important than somebody claim that they love you. Okay, choose life. Choose yourself. Love yourself. Okay, love yourself. And that's what Ramika was doing. She was loving herself. She had going by some of the things I had read, she had moved away into her own place. She had changed her phone number. Okay, so she was doing her thing. Okay, she was in school for nursing for her RN school. She was, raising her bars up for her and her son. Okay, she walked away. I don't think he wanted to let her go. I think he wanted to hold on to Ramika and to Holly. He had a lot to do with it, a whole lot to do with it. Okay, so that is very sad. So very sad story. So we're gonna listen to one more thing, you guys, and this is some of the things that I already was saying to you already, and this is a lawyer from out of Washington. Okay, so I'm quite sure they all do the same things, and he's saying the 3 big reasons why criminal cases take so long, to go to the grand jury. So we're gonna listen to him. This only less than 10 minutes long. So that way you guys can hear it from somebody else besides hearing me, because I'm not no lawyer. I only did my own research. So he kind of saying the same thing what I read at the beginning. So I think it was good for you guys to hear from somebody else as well. Okay. Why it's taking so long for the prosecutor? Why are they dragging their feet to bring something to the grand jury? So this is what he thinks the 3 big reasons. Well, he knows 3 big reasons. Okay, so we could go ahead and share this real quick. Thank you for the people that's in the clouds that's listening to me. I'm not long-winded at all. I'm very short. I'm very brief. I like to give out the information what I find and still give my input about Ramika. Okay, because we're gonna keep her name alive. Okay. And I hope her protest that they had for her today, I hope they had a nice turnout. Okay. I was trying to find something, but I couldn't find nothing. So I've been, like I said earlier, before my live, I was gone all day. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share this and let you guys hear this, okay?
In this video, I'm going to cover the 3 reasons why criminal cases take so long and what might surprise you why that's not a bad thing if you happen to be charged with a crime. So stay tuned. This is a great video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Freiber. I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 20 years. And I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. What are the 3 reasons why criminal cases take so long to resolve? And also then, why is that a good thing? Or why could we argue it's a good thing if you happen to be unfortunate enough to be charged with a crime? Well, I think the 3 reasons why they take so long, number 1 would be the fact that there's already so many cases in the system, right? Does that make any sense? Just think about it. There are thousands and thousands of criminal cases, and each one has a right to a jury trial, but yet only 1% of those maybe even can go to jury trial. So you have all these people in the legal system trying to work towards getting resolutions in cases without trials, and that takes a long time. And while cases were taking a long time to begin with, COVID made it even worse. In Washington State, for multiple months, the courts were shut down. There was no way to resolve a case. But yet, people kept committing crimes. The police didn't quit arresting people. People didn't end up without criminal charges for months. No, some would say there's even more criminal charges because everybody went a little crazy going through this terrible situation. So cases were already taking a long time to resolve. now it got even worse about why cases take so long to get resolved in the criminal system. How long does something take? It used to be 3 to 6 months for your average non-felony case. Now I would say it's 6 months to a year for most non-felony cases, gross misdemeanor cases. Felonies, they used to take a year. I think 2 years is pretty quick nowadays, based upon what's at stake in the felony land. So just the sheer volume is one reason. The second reason criminal cases take a long time to resolve is there's not a lot of incentive on either side to move the case very fast. There's certainly no incentive for the defendant to hurry up the jeopardy that they're in and make it, and be convicted of a crime and be put in jail potentially. Delay is part of human life when there's something that we don't want to deal with. And also for the prosecution, there's no real incentive to move it quickly. They don't get a reward for the case being over sooner. What they get is just more work, right? To get a case over sooner, they have to do more work, and they're already overwhelmed. So I think one reason why cases in that take so long in criminal is there is no incentive. Think about it in lawsuits about money, personal injury, there is incentive. If you get the lawsuit over with more quickly, the person entitled to money gets money more quickly, right? And that's what they want. Same way with family law. If the family law case gets over more quickly, you get custody of your kids more quickly. So there's different incentives in criminal law than there would be in other areas of the law. I think the third reason why cases take so long to resolve is defense strategy, okay? And that ties into why it can be a good thing if a case takes a while to resolve. Defense strategy. The defense in a criminal case has no burden of proof in most cases. There's a few types of charges where there's an affirmative defense. But for the most part in criminal cases, the defendant doesn't have to prove anything. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. And in cases where there's a victim on the prosecution side, think about human nature. When we are, something bad happens to us, we are the most mad when it first happens. As time passes, we might still be mad, but it fades. The sting and the pain can fade. Not in all cases, but in many cases, right? A hit and run case. Someone damaged your car and took off. You're really mad week one. A year from now, you've got so many other things to be mad about, you may not even want to deal with it, right? So as time passes, usually the anger of cases that have victims dissipate. What about cases that don't have victims? Do you always have victims? A DUI, the public is a victim, but let's say it's just a professional witness, no one got ran over, thank God, or anything like that. Well, sometimes a professional witness moves or quits or gets in trouble themselves, a law enforcement officer, state patrol, whoever. If that witness is no longer available to the prosecution, they're not going to be able to prove their case. This also applies to the prosecutor. The first time a prosecutor sees a case, it's fair to guess that's when they're most shocked by the report. When they've seen the report 4 or 5 times, they're less shocked by it. Oh yeah, that case. And finally, defense strategy says delay doesn't hurt because witnesses' memories fade, right? As time passes, people don't remember things as well. And therefore, if a case happens to take longer, that's not necessarily a bad thing for the defense. So I'm not saying defendants purposely continue things for that to happen, but I'm saying that's one reason is that it's not necessarily a good idea to move cases really quickly if you're on the defense side, because you might be creating yourself a more difficult road to hoe, so to speak, than if you are taking more of a normal amount of time to resolve the case. Why else does time help a case from the defendant's point of view? Why is it a good idea to not rush things? Because it makes the defendant a better risk for the prosecutor. If a defendant goes 6 months or a year without any legal problems, well, it's less urgent that we correct the original legal problem now as a prosecutor. Additionally, it gives the defendant some time to do things. If you've watched any of my videos, you realize that prosecutors' jobs are not to let defendants go, but they are to respond to the case in some way. And if the defendant does nothing, does no educational classes, does nothing, you give the prosecutor no choice but to respond with trying to go for a conviction, because the defendant hasn't taken any responsibility, right? So the defendant does something in anger management class, domestic violence MRT classes, alcohol treatment, drug treatment, counseling, therapy. Now the prosecutor can feel they've been part of a response, look at what the defendant's done. Even if they didn't specifically ask for it, they still are part of that response. We're doing it for the case. Time passing allows a defendant or a suspect to get that done. And now that we've got that done and you've stayed out of trouble, you're a better risk. People care less on the victim side. Boy, that's a much easier negotiation for everybody because the prosecutor needs a way out of the case too. They can't take it all to trial. And if you've watched can't take all cases to trial. If you've watched my other videos, everybody needs to, maintain their status in the status game that we're all playing, right? A prosecutor needs to respond to the case. It's part of their job. The defense needs a certain type of result to help their client, right? The court needs to feel good about the result because they have a role to protect the public. And so, while people are not on the same team, there is really great defense work, I think, gets everybody on the same team in a way to get a result that can work for everybody to maintain their own self-interest, their own status, their own position in their role in the criminal system. And any attorney can just go take a case to trial, but that's always an option at the end. But that's the highest risk way to do things. And therefore, as time passes, you improve your chances of getting an alternative result. That's great. And also, if it does get to a trial, hopefully the witnesses don't remember as much.
And that's what they hoping for.
These are the reasons.
Okay. Those are the three big reasons why they are dragging this case. Okay. That's the defense guy that was talking, lawyer, that he's a defensive lawyer. Okay. They hoping that if they can wait a long time, maybe the witness can forget what they saw or what they seen. Okay. So just remember, everyone, keep her name alive. Continue on to justice for 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬. Let that continue on going on your platforms or whatever you're doing. If you're in the city of Chicago, keep her name out there in your city. Justice for her, because this was not no self-defense at all. This was done on purposely. She highly wanted 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 unalive, period. Because if she didn't, she only shot 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 one time and left. But no, she shot her total of 3 times, and one of the bullets, the fourth, she would have got shot 4 times probably, but one of the bullets got stuck in the gun. Okay, so she probably got hit 4 times. So my prayers are to her mother Tina, to her siblings, to her aunties, to her cousins, to her close friends, and everybody that is connected to her. Okay, my prayers is with you guys. So thank you all for listening to me. Thank the people that was in the cloud. Nobody dropped down but Beefy. Beefy, thank you for dropping down. But I do got some cloud watchers, and I appreciate you all for watching me. So when you get time, please go check out Open Book. Go check out Royal D. Go check out Keys News Network. And everybody know Messi already, because I've been in Messi's chat plenty of times, but these other 3 I just really met this since this case right here, since 𝘠𝘭𝘬 case. And it's a lot of other people that's out there that is speaking this. Okay. Like, please share me out if you can, get me out there, help me get out there so people can hear, my point of view about 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬. Okay. Like I said, I'm Team 𝘠𝘠𝘭𝘬 100%. I do believe that she's going to get justice. Okay. So she's not able to rest right now, people. She's not able to rest. Okay. She's not going to rest until she gets justice. Okay. So right now she's still going back and forth. Even though we can't see her, but she's still probably going back and forth, talking to certain people. I believe that those spirits is not, once they got unalive, somebody unalive them, their spirit can't rest. Their spirit can't rest, you know. So once justice be served, and then she will be able to lay down and rest and just stay focused up there in the paradise. Okay. So peace and blessings, you guys. I'm gonna come back live either tomorrow or Saturday. We're gonna talk about because this is ADHD Awareness Month, and it's also breast cancer month as well. But I think one day I'm gonna do ADHD either tomorrow or Saturday. Then next week, Friday or Saturday, I'm gonna do breast cancer. Okay, so because I'm a survivor of breast cancer, and now I know my grandson, he is ADHD, so we gonna definitely going to talk about those two things in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to keep her name alive. Okay, justice for 𝘠𝘭𝘬 Meeks Blackman. Okay, I think that's all I had to say. Okay, so later, you guys. I'm out.
Through the shadows where the storms collide, she stands with courage as her guide. Her whispers echo louder than screams, faithful to God through broken dreams. She's the silent storm, unshaken, strong. Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret. At 5:30 sharp, hearts come alive. Together we heal, together we thrive. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the table set for stories shared, no room for regret.